Hello, my fellow comic book collectors. It's Alan, the comic collector geek, and I'm joined with a very unusual person. I never see this person. This person never comes to the show.
I'm
I don't
here.
know
I'm
why.
here. I'm here. I know I've missed a couple of weeks, but I'm back.
He's back. He's back from his work. I guess he's working
I
again.
was working, and also I went down to Dorset to see my mum. So
Okay. Okay, that's good. That's a good excuse.
okay,
You're retired. You don't get the concept of retirement.
no,
It's like not
yeah,
supposed to work.
yeah,
It's
my
supposed to
one.
just play with comics. That's the whole point of retirement. Okay. Um, enough ranting. Okay, so this is going to be the hottest Silver Age books of the week. We get a special one in number one, but that's going to be on Mark's channel. It's Mark's favorite book. It's always a number one for Mark. And let's get into the list, Mark. Let's see what we have.
Okay, share screen. It's that one. I love this one. There we go. So first one
I
on.
love this one too.
Yes, first one on the list is Vampirella number one. The comic that started all the Vampirellas.
Yep.
Great cover. Is that Frank Frazetta?
Frazetta. Yep, Frank Frazetta.
Beautiful.
So yeah, so in this though, Vampirella, they do have a Vampirella story, but it's very hokey. It's almost like they're introducing her as basically going to be a narrator.
Yeah.
So the first few issues of Vampirella, she's just a narrator. She's not like a character per se. So, but this one has sort of a campy introduction. The Vampirella character was sort of based loosely off of Barbarella. So it's Vampirella, Barbarella.
Yeah.
So yeah, but just a great cover. I mean, just one of my favorite all-time favorite covers from the Silver Age.
Beautiful.
And it's a 9.0, which is
yeah.
most
got
people
Neil Adams art inside.
Yeah. Most people don't realize that this book is a really hard one to get in a 9.0. This is it's a hard book because it's a magazine format. There's not many people saved it. And their spines tick. Get spine ticks all the time on these ones.
Well, I know you've got this because you've got every Warren comic ever published.
Yes.
Yeah.
But mine's not in a 9.0. I can tell you right now.
Okay.
Mine's probably in like a 3 or 4.
Right. So this is definitely. I have number 2 in a 9.0.
I had 2 number 2s.
You've got 2.
I got rid of one. I got rid of one actually just recently.
Okay.
I traded it.
So let's have a look. See if what did this sell for? This sold
for 3,000.
3,000 in a 9.0. Right.
Yeah, I think that I'm thinking that was a bit low, but I'm not sure. I haven't looked. I want to be surprised. Just
I think it's about right. It's around about fair market value according to
okay, so this one did dip. So my point is, I remember there's bigger sales. So what was the biggest sale?
Peak for 5,000 basically.
But yeah, I thought it was around that 5,000 mark. Yeah,
it's at 5.
But it looks like it's now back in line with.
Yeah, I think that's on trend.
On trend, yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's still 3,000 for 9.0, not even like the highest grade. It's just like, yeah, it's a big sale. I mean, would you have bought this one, or would you?
I am because I'm doing I am going to buy a couple of Grail comics, and this could potentially be one. I see over here. There's an 8.5 here for 2250, which is tempting.
So yeah,
hasn't come down as much. Oh, 2250 is pretty good though. If that price doesn't go up, that could be interesting.
Oh, is that the bid price? That's a bid.
That's the ask. That's the ask price. Oh,
okay.
Yeah, that's 10.
Oh, you can. What I always do if somebody has like an ask price, what I do is I always write to them and say, oh, if it's like 50 or something, right?
Yeah.
I'll go to them and say, would you want to get 2,000 for it? And
Yeah.
usually people will say, oh, it's just rounding,
Well,
it's
that's
fine.
actually a good price. The last one at 885 sold at 2.8. So even at 2,250, that's not bad.
Mm.
But
So
yeah,
how many of these are on the census?
there are 1,000.
1,000. So it's like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles level of number of slabs.
Yeah.
Yeah, rarity.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, bit tempted by that. That is one I would.
See,
I do collect a lot of Vampirella.
this is how I get Mark to spend his money.
Yeah. Yeah.
But a very cool book.
Yeah, like that one. Thank you for that one, Alan. That's a good one. Right, what have we got next? Oh, Avengers
Now this is just high grade.
28, 9.6. Very, very high grade for a. Oh, it's a beautiful looking copy.
Yeah. First appearance of Goliath, I believe.
It says back at last, giant man. So
what is it? First appearance, or is the collector or something like that?
First appearance of the collector, Beetle,
yeah, collector,
and giant man becomes Goliath. Yeah.
Yeah. So I knew it was double key. Yeah.
Very nice. It's a nice looking comic. 9.6. You bet there aren't many 9.6s of that out there. So have a look.
No.
There are. There's only 839 of these graded.
And if you think about it, that's for a Marvel book, that's really low census count.
Is low. And so this is the graph, so it hasn't had a blip.
Sometimes that happens with these higher grade ones where they just don't come up during the blip. You know what I mean? So they avoided that whole correction thing, which is nice to see.
Yeah, because it went. The last one that sold was in 2019. So
so it just missed the COVID bump.
There you go. You've got the nice gradual trend line. Interesting.
Yeah, it's really nice to see that. It kind of validates the whole hobby in a way, because if you can ignore what happened, it just shows, hey, it would have done this. Perfect trend line. Actually, it's like the flattest trend line you'd ever see.
Well, it's a straight line. It's what happens when you get 2 points, Alan. If you draw a line between them, it's straight.
Yeah. So there's no in between points.
No,
it's just
no.
Oh, okay, that's why.
So 2019 was the last sale, and this one's the sale up there is at 2023. So 4 years without a sale. So it missed the blip.
Okay. So interesting.
Nice.
So strong sale, a record for once. We're getting actual records on the list.
Yeah, there we go.
This one's an interesting one. It's a big sale for a restored book. This is Fantastic Four number 5, first appearance of Dr. Doom. This is a book that I always loved.
It's a great book. Inspiration includes small amount of color touch on cover.
It's C1,
top edge of cover trimmed. Oh yeah, you can.
I'm surprised that it got C1 because that's a lot of stuff. Usually C1 is amateur, very slight restoration, unless it's very slight trim or something. I don't know.
That trim is fairly obvious at the top.
Yeah, I would have thought this would be moderate restoration.
Yeah, I agree with you.
But the reason I love this book is you got the bad guy front and center in that little. It's almost like they did like a bubble for him, like where sometimes they do that where they're presenting something.
Yeah.
And then, but it's also him showing his powers and showing him like not just his power. I mean, his powers in terms of defeating the good guys. I think that's cool. I have that on the cover.
Yeah, no, it's a nice. I like this cover as well. I have the Alan Class version of this, and the cover's even nicer.
Yeah, actually, it's bigger. It has a little bit more of the frame, right?
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually cool. Yeah,
a bit wider. Right. So how did this do?
It
Six
sold for 3,360, right?
down a lot.
Even as a restored, yeah. How
So
much is it down?
the last one of these sold at 5.4. So this is down 30,
About
40,
2,000?
30, 40%.
Yeah. And when did the last sale happen?
March.
March of this year?
Yeah.
Oh wow. So this might have been a bit of a steal.
Yeah, I think so.
Um
This is another one that doesn't come
doesn't look like it had the blip, so that's why.
It hasn't got a blip because the that sale there is back in 2019, and then we don't get another sale
Sale until this year.
which is looks reasonable, doesn't it? That looks like a
Yeah, it looks very
but this one
reasonable.
looks like somebody might have got a deal on this one.
Yeah, wow.
I think
I mean,
that's a bit of a deal.
you know what sometimes happens? Heritage, they're a bit snobby. Where sometimes they will like really put their nose up against restored grades. And you'll sometimes see restored grades go for just nothing, right?
But this is comparing restored to restored. So
I know, but my point is like, where was the previous sale? Where was the sale in March? Comic Connect, right?
Yeah.
See, that's a different crowd.
Yeah.
That's my point. So Heritage is a little snobby. I think not like I like Heritage, but my point is they sometimes are a little bit rough on restored grades.
Okay.
So you can pick up restored grades pretty cheaply there sometimes.
Yeah. Somebody's got a deal, I think, there.
Yeah.
I reckon the next one will be back up again.
How does that wait? Just before you switch over, how does that compare to the Blue Label in the same book?
Blue Label.
So we're looking at like around $4,000 would probably be the average of those 2 points, right?
About 12 currently.
12. So that so it is 6.0. Usually you would expect it to be worth about 40% of the blue,
which is about right.
Yeah. So that's shows it.
No, the 5,000 is about right. The 3,000 is low.
Yeah. Well, so we were saying it was a steal. I think it is a steal.
It is.
Like,
yeah.
So, yeah.
Somebody got a bargain there. Right.
Yeah.
That's the steal of the week at the moment.
Yeah. Steal of the week.
Okay. Number 4. Oh, this is nice, Alan.
This one was a weird one. I was shocked when I saw this one, but
you got this?
No, I don't. I think it's a high sale just because it's a great Christmas cover.
Yeah,
it looks like
it's a lovely cover though, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's like perfect. It's like a 9.8. It's like
9.8?
Beautiful.
It's a 9.
And what does it say? What does all that stuff say? I can't read it. So
there's Carl Barks and Carl Falberg, Carl Barks stories, Carl Barks art, Dell Giant, Disneyland photo cover, Mickey Mouse, Uncle Scrooge, Donald Duck, Goofy, Huey, Dewey, and Louie appear. Yeah.
So you're getting it for all those classic elements, basically.
Yeah. Very nice.
Yeah, it is beautiful. Beautiful book.
How much did that? $4,000. Okay,
that's what I was saying. I was when I saw the Disney book selling for that much, I was like, wow, that's pretty crazy. I don't know anything about this book in terms of well,
here typical... Go collect. There's only 21 graded.
Yeah,
so it's the only 9.8.
Oh wow! So you're paying for the top of the grade, basically.
You can't do a comparison. There can't be a graph because it's the first time it's ever been sold, and there's only one.
Is there sales for the lower grades? Like let's take a look at that. But yeah, it's one of those things. Like, so you're basically paying for the fact that you want to have the top graded book.
A 9.4 sold during the blip for 1.5.
Okay. Usually what I always see is like between a 9.4 and 9.6 is double.
Yeah.
9.6 to 9.8 is double again.
Mm-hmm.
So you have 4 times.
Yeah.
So roughly 4 times, I'm like ballparking it, right?
It's a unique book. Nobody else has got a 9.8 of that.
Yeah, that's very cool. And there's only 20 some odd of these on the census.
22 on the census.
Wow. I think this is one of those ones that you only grade if you have it in high grade, because a lot of these kids' books, there's a lot of them. but find them in like above a 6 is quite hard.
Yeah.
So wow, that's very cool.
Very nice. I like that one. Right. How many have we done? That was number 2.
That's number 4.
That was number 4. Here we go. Here's number 5.
Last one.
Daredevil.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I know we've talked about this before. You were showing off your 2.0 yesterday.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
This was the comic that catapulted you to being an official comic collector.
I always see it that way. Yeah. I always see this book as kind of that, key that, if you're a true comic collector, you have it, right? So 5.5, beautiful. Actually, not. If the whites were a little bit whiter.
Yeah.
Like, every time I see this book, it's always got kind of that creamy
yellow, white. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. If this white hair was proper white, it would stand out so much better, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
This is another one on my list of potential ones to buy. There is a copy coming up for auction next week in the UK. It's a 2.0,
Okay.
same as yours.
Okay. I paid 700 or 800 for mine.
Yeah, you have to pay more than that now. You have to pay double that for this, for even at 2.0.
Yeah, I bought mine just before the blip. Yeah.
This
wow.
went up during the blip, but it's come back down. But it hasn't come back down to where it was because it was always undervalued. This comic.
Oh yeah. I mean, but I think the reason it's a bit undervalued, if you look at the sense, it's a little higher. So this is sold for $4,560. 5.5. First appearance of Daredevil, but it's a first appearance that happened after Marvel had sort of proven itself.
Yeah, because there's 6,000 of these, 6179.
Yeah. So a lot of people saved these back in the day. So I mean, you had like Fantastic Four, X-Men, Amazing Spider-Man. I think people even at that time realized, hey, this is the next key book to save. So that's why it has a high census count, and it has always been underrated as well, undervalued as
so that sales about on trend. So I would say that's
actually I would say it's a little bit high.
Might be actually. Yeah, you're right. It's not come back here, but this book was always undervalued, Alan. So although it went up during the blip,
that's true.
I don't think it's coming back down here. I think this is permanently now up here somewhere. I don't think this will come back down here.
So you missed your opportunity. You got to get a time machine. Go back to like 2018 era.
Yeah. If you could have bought it here for 2000, yeah.
So, and this peaked out at what? Like 5,000-6,000?
High. 7,876.
Wow, 7,800. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So the opportunity is gone, but still not a bad time to buy it. I think it'll still go up over time. Like we're just seeing a new floor basically.
Just going to check the 2.0. Oh, that might be, but that looks as if it's come back more.
Yeah, it's actually come down a lot. Actually, it's more on the trend line even.
Yeah.
And what's the going price now?
I think it's up for auction for about £600, which would be pretty decent.
That would be a good price. And what's the last sale for 2.0? I can't see the number.
$1,580.
1,580. Okay.
Yeah.
So if you can get it for like around
£700, it's worth having because they've got about 600 quid is about $900. So that would still be a good price, wouldn't it?
Oh, it's not parity anymore between the two?
No. It's about 20%. Your pound's worth 20 on the dollar.
Okay. I thought it was parity at one point.
It got close. Didn't quite get to parity.
Nice. Okay. So, wow. So yeah, this wouldn't be a cool one to pick up. I see you got to buy the Vampirella now. You got to buy the Daredevil.
I can't buy them all.
And we got to go to your channel to find out 5 more books that Mark has to buy. So everyone,
the one that I've actually got my eye on is in the same auction. It's the world's best comics. So this was it was the comic before the world's finest comics.
Oh yes, yes, and they changed the name to World's
Yeah,
Finest. Yeah.
yeah. Number one in a sort of 4550.
Okay,
Quite tempted by that. It
that's
depends.
a very solid grade. I like those 4.5
Yeah,
ones. They're sort of affordable, but yet presents well, and
yeah, but
it's
you never
got
know what's going to happen during these auctions, especially in the UK. It depends who's watching.
yeah. I mean, do you find that UK auctions are more attended
The
than the ones here?
the good ones are they're quite well attended, and it sometimes gets surprises both ways. Sometimes something you expected to go low goes high, and sometimes
Mhm.
something you expect to go high goes low. It's real hit and miss. It depends which collectors have turned up and what they're collecting.
Well, you just need two, right? That's all.
That's
That's
all
all it
you do.
takes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
unfortunately. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so we got to create a distraction, a diversion tactic, and then get
Right.
them not to
Okay.
look.
I think that is.
That's it. That's our five for this first part, and then the second part, we're going to go over to your channel and
Yeah,
look at five more.
we will.
So thanks again, everyone. Bye for now.
Thanks, Alan. Good selection.